Hello guys, kindly check this application out. When we say country, let's pick any country, we get the code. You can see, then finally we can add a number to it. Now we're going to do this using this country data, a country data that has a name, a dial code, and the code. So that is that, guys. Without wasting much time, let's begin. Good. Thank you very much. Let's go back to our components folder. The components folder also has the country data. So over here, let's create another file and call it autophoneapp.js. So in that we call array fce. Instead of ordinary day, why don't we make it react.fragment? So we say create a section, then inside the section let's create a div to say hello. Let's link that to the app.js to view on the screen. So we go to app.js, then we call auto. Good. Let's import it. Import from where? From components. Good. So that is that. Let's check our screen if we got hello. Great, we got hello. Means we're ready to go. So to begin, let's position everything since it's mobile first. Good. So close the app.js, close the country data. Let's leave it. So from here we can use this hello div as a container and give it a class name, bg white, width auto, height 96, mx5, mt40, and rounded lg. So that is that. So inside that we can have our header section. Good. So over here let's create a div for that. Good. Then inside that we have our p tag. Inside that we have our title. Let's give the p tag class name. So we say uppercase, font bold, text 4XL, text center. So that is that. Now let's use it div a class name. So we say height 28, flex, justify center, item center, and some shadow. So that is our header is ready. Next is the body section. So let's do that. We say body section. So inside the body section, let's have a div. So inside this div, let's create a div like a container. So we say div, and inside this div let's create two divs, 1 and 2. So let's take the 1 and give it a select. Inside the select, let's give it an option with a value empty and make it hidden. So that is that. Now let's give it some class name. So inside the select, we bring it down here. Then we say width full, height 14, text XL, and rounded LG. So that is that. Okay, let's give the body section some class name. So over here we say class name mt14 mx10. So that is that. This one is ready. Now let's go back and get the phone code in the second region, which is the second one, the 2. So over here let's create 2 inputs here. Good. 1. Let's add a second one. Good. 2. So we have 2 inputs. Now what we're going to do is going to give them a grid to align. So let's do that. So over here we go to their div and give it a class name. We say width full mt5, grid curves 3, and a gap 2. Now realize that it's divided into 3 parts. So let's make the phone cover to third. Okay, so we go to the phone section. This is code. The first one is code. Let me correct that. Then the second one is going to be phone. So the phone, let's give it call span 2. So we say call span 2. So that is that. Now next thing to do is to get our countries into the select field. So we go to our data, this is our data, and import it. So let's say we say import country data from where? From country data dot JSON. Okay, so that is that. When you check it, say our country data over here. It's in the component, so that is that. So next, let's create a state for the data. So let's import useState. So we say useState. So let's create a state. So we say const countries, comma set countries equals useState into bracket country data. Okay. So now let's console log it to see if we got our country data. Good. So that is that. So let's check it out. Console. You can see, guys, we got data. We got data here. So next thing is to map our data into the select field. So we say, let's go to the select over here. Then say countries.map into bracket items should return an option with a value item.code and item.name. The name is the country, because when you check the data, well, the name is a country. Okay, name Afghanistan. So that is that. Let's check it out. You can see, guys, it's working. Now it's going to complain because each house should have a unique key. Now let's import UUID. So we go to the tab and call UUID. So that is that. Now let's call it over here. So we say key equals UUID v4. Okay, so we call that, and that clears the complaint. So that is that. We're good to go. So next thing to do is to create a state for the events. So let's go up. Then over here we say const search code, comma search code equals useState. So that's be our state for the event. So let's go to the select and give it a value and unchange. Okay, select, where are you? So good. So over here, let's give it a value search code and an unchange. We say e maps that search code should be given the event.target.value. So there's anything that is selected goes to our state, which is the search code. So we can console log the search code. Good. So we say console log search code. Let's check it out. So when we select something, you can see it's in the search code, which is AI. We are taking the code. Okay. When you check the data, you have the code is what we are working with. So this code, you can see the country code. Good. So that is that. Now we are getting the code. Let's find the country that has this code. So to do that, we say, so over here we call const search country equals countries.find. Let's create a function. Then we say objects into bracket. If object.code equals search code, then return true, otherwise return false. So you can see. Let's console log the search country. Good. So that is that. Let's check it out. So check it out. When we say Bahamas, you can see at the search country we have the name Bahamas, the dial code, and the code. So that is that. So next thing to do is to what? Bring this code, this dial code, into the into the code section. Okay, so to do that, let's go to the code, then give it a value. So we give it a value equals, let's call search country. So search country dot dial code. Okay. That is that. You can see it's complaining. You can't read it undefined because it's not true. So make it when it is true, then you can now give us the DAO code. Okay, so we say search country and good. So when it's true, you give us the DAO code. So that is that. You can see. So when we try it out, it's complaining again. The component is uncontrolled. So let's to handle that, we say over here we need some empty. So over here we say or empty. So that will solve this component being uncontrolled. So let's run it. So you can say just warning me of read only. So that is that. So finally, let's check it out. We check, we see our code. Can you see, guys? Can close this now. So that is that, guys. Thank you for sticking through. Catching the next one. We say peace.